Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love the attention.
Everyone loves to read about your life.
What's up, Dushui?
My mom warned me about friends like you.
A bit overwhelming.
Hey, I'm here for the ride.
Al, what's up, my boy? How you doing?
Feeling good, man. You know, on this podcast, we always get the best, the biggest, the craziest,
The baddest.
the baddest guests each and every week.
Absolutely.
And this week, we probably have the most super controversial character in the studio.
Man, we had Harrison from Married at First Sight. Man, and listen, we normally would do the intro before the guest arrives, but we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to do this one afterwards because I wanted to be a little bit honest. It was very hard to control the conversation. And, you know, I can kind of see what the experts were talking about. You know, when they were trying to critique
and I think we've been
him on the show, if that makes sense.
Having him in for a while into the studio and shooting an ep with him. But we wanted to make sure when he comes in, we wanted to hold him accountable for his actions. But to be honest, man, it was hard.
Yeah, well, boy, like he's actually a pretty good talker. Hey, I can't lie. But like first thing that he said, he was like, "This is gonna be the last time I'm talking about MAFS, you know, on a podcast ever." So I kind of feel like he really wanted to kind of, you know, say like his last little. I don't know. It was almost like he was trying to make peace with himself, like from the show in a way. But anyway,
so this is the last hurrah from Harrison Boon. And you guys are hearing it first on Back to Reality.
Wait, before we actually get into I feel like this is actually very, very important because there's a lot of guys, man, that are out there that kind of enable, you know, like their boys' behavior, like especially when it comes around, you know, talking about women, you know, especially. And I've been actually pulled up, you know, like even like at work, maybe like a comment has been said and I haven't like pulled up a mate of mine or something like over the counter when I'm working. And like the girl's like, no, that's not right. You should, you know, like, and I feel like, you know, when he came in, I didn't want this to be like a boys club where we like, you know, say, no, what you did was run the show, blah, blah, but to actually kind of pull him up, you know what I mean? And to hold him slightly accountable, like in like, for example, like him, you know, shaming people that do OnlyFans, you know, when he was a stripper, you know what I mean? So the double standard, you know, like that comes in too. So
we're going to get all into that.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, listen, this episode, every episode anyway, we record on Gadigal Land. It's going to be a cracker interview and podcast, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to it.
Let's get on in.
Harrison, welcome to the studio, bro. How you doing?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So you told us that this is the last time that you're going to do an interview about MAFS.
What is that?
This is my final MAFS related interview. It's really just time to move on. It's been nearly a year since the show was filmed. I remember walking down the aisle in August, which is only a month and a half away, right? So it's been a year, and like at a certain point after a relationship ends, you have to move on and stop kind of talking to people about it. It's not really like it holds you back if you keep doing it. And I think
That's
this
like
is
we're
it.
doing.
I think
Yeah,
this
a
is
little
it.
bit, eh?
We're hanging on.
We're
It's
just
been
hanging
2
on,
years.
bro.
I'm still hanging on.
Any single bit of clap.
No, I think this is it for me. Like, there's only so long you can keep, you know, flogging a dead horse. Like, it's over.
Are you sick of like the questions and shit or what?
No, because it's funny. Like I get heaps of questions from all around the world because the show airs at different
Internationally,
in different countries at different times. So I had a whole conversation with a woman in Ireland the other day.
What did
who
she
was
have to say?
asking me? Well, she was just asking me like, "Oh, what happened here? What happened there?" And all I can really do is give my side of the story, right?
Yeah, for real.
And at the end of the conversations, they're usually like, "Wow, like I had no idea. I was completely wrong about you. The show is." You know, it's not who you really are.
So is this you kind of saying that you're sick and tired of like defending the way that people viewed you on the show in a way, and you just kind of just want to just ride your own wave now?
I'm just moving on to other projects.
Yeah, not for real.
Like the thing is, like I've got this fight coming up in August. I've got other opportunities in the works, other things in the pipeline. So for me, it's like, I kind of just want to start giving those projects attention.
Most
I don't want to
definitely,
keep living in the past. Like it's like a year ago, and the media wave for MAFS is massive. Like no one's who's been on it won't understand. Like it's huge. You're like the most talked about person or group of people in the country for, you know, a hot minute, and
Absolutely.
then afterwards it's kind of you got to go and do your own thing, and like that's where I'm at. I just want to start doing my own thing.
Yeah, and I guess it's like a lot of like energy out, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, I reckon it's actually like a variable that you need to actually get in control, hey, because like that will really start to sip into your, you know, subconscious, really. And like with the fight, bro, like I know like you're gonna have to get into camp and everything else. So yeah,
I'm
the
in
focus
camp
has
now.
to.
He's in
Damn.
camp now.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
camp.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Harrison have something in common. We actually have the same trainer.
Oh,
Yeah, shout out to Steve Rados, who will probably be listening to this.
Big Steve-O.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's going to be fighting Daniel Holmes from my season
Yes.
of MAFS. So why'd you take the fight? What's going on? And what are your predictions as well?
Why'd I take the fight? I didn't want to initially. There was a couple of names thrown at me. One of them was Daniel, and I actually rang Daniel and I was like, oh, like this, I've had this opportunity. What do you think? Because this was still in like the negotiating stages. We hadn't locked in an amount of money yet to do the fight. The promoter had just kind of reached out to both of us and said, would you do it? And I rang him and I was like, mate, I kind of don't really want to fight you because I actually really like you.
Yeah.
Like, I like Daniel.
I thought you guys thought you guys were friends.
Yeah, like I liked him.
Yeah.
I really did. He had my back on the show. He was really nice to me afterwards. Like, kind of gave me some really good advice on navigating the public, and like he was the one that said like, don't back down, just be yourself. You know, like if people are either going to love you or they're not. Like he was a really nice guy. And then I'm saying was like past tense. He probably still is, but I can't think that way at the moment. You know, I'm going to fight him, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. The conversation, he was like, yeah, like we'll talk about it. And then the conversation ended, and then a couple of days later, he was locked in, and I was like, okay, well. And then I spoke to the promoter, and I was like, well, it's really important to me that if I do this, I want to do it with a charity. I don't want to just do it and take the money.
Just take
like I want
cash,
to give
yeah.
something back. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I've started raising money for charity along the way.
Oh, what's the charity?
Yeah, the charity's for youth off the streets. So
Okay.
they provide crisis accommodation to children in need, among other things.
No, beautiful, man.
And they're a non-for-profit organisation, so every dollar you donate goes directly to people in need, especially children, which is something I care about, something I'm passionate about. So yeah, that was one of the driving factors to doing the fight, was that I could bring awareness to something and give back in a way. So
Are you listen, this is a little bit controversial, but are you doing this fight as a charity fight to kind of make yourself look, good, or what? What's up?
I don't think that I'm going to change the mind of people that have already made their mind up.
But okay.
So I'm doing the fight, raising money for charity because it's something I wanted to do.
That's what's up.
That was
I
one
like
of my
that.
conditions. How it makes me look is really irrelevant.
That's good.
I got a message from Daniel because I told him that you're coming on the potty.
Yeah.
I said, do you want to send a message to Harrison? So you got to reply to it. Daniel goes that you're a bitch and Brent could smash you easy. What do you have to say to that?
God damn. Who the fuck called it?
Because Daniel's going to listen to this now.
Yeah. No and no. No.
It's not going to happen, yeah. And what are your predictions for the fight?
My predictions for the fight are that I'm gonna put it on him and he's gonna shit his pants. It's my prediction for the fight. I don't think he wants the fight. I think all this stuff that he's doing, trying to get in my head, inviting Bronte to the fight, talking to Brent, like all this stuff he's doing.
Yeah, it's all mind games. Just not getting
Mate,
to use
to
it.
me, that just shows how worried he is. And he's gonna get hurt.
So you're not scared one bit?
No.
Are you scared to lose?
No,
So I thought I was gonna win,
I
but I
watched his
lost.
fight with Brent. And they spent 90% of the time cuddling each other. There's not going to be any cuddling in August. Like it's a fight.
Yeah, I want to see some, I want to see some blood.
He's like, I want to see some blood.
I want Daniel to come to the fight in the best shape and bring the best fight that he
Absolutely,
can.
man.
That's what I want.
Yeah, man. You want something fair. You want something fair.
All right, going back to MAFS. So we had Ollie and Tiny in as guests.
Oh yeah,
A while back.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good. He's actually a very good talker.
Well, he'd want to be. That's his job. Like
Yeah,
voiceover
So Ollie told us, I don't know if you listened to the potty or not.
I listened to bits. Sorry to cut you off. I listened to bits. I got sent bits of it. Stuff that pertained to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he did say, you probably heard this one, that you were convinced that you were going to be portrayed really well, driving off in a Jeep.
In my Jeep, yeah.
What went wrong? Wrong? Is it true that it hit the cutting room floor?
Yeah, you don't see it, right? So I did. I called Ollie. This was after the... Oh, sorry. I take that back. This was after the very last dinner party where Bronte and I break up. And interestingly, nothing occurred in reality the way it was portrayed on the show. So, just to give you an example, when Bronte walks out at the last dinner party where it looks like she's breaking up with me, it cuts to me and I'm sort of like putting my hands up like this. That was actually from when we were doing the Honesty Box challenge. That was not when she walked out. That wasn't live. When she walked out, it was actually hard for me not to start applauding on the way she walked. Like, I was so happy that the relationship was over. And the first thing I did was just like let her leave, and then I turned to Leighton and Melinda and said, you guys are next, because we're doing turns of the Honesty Box. And then I started sipping my drink and having a good time after that. And the show makes it look like I had kind of like like I was sad about it. So I wasn't. I was like, good. I was happy to see the back end of Bronte.
At the end, you thought you were like victorious, like you had the best edit. You're going to be an absolute hero. Well,
for example, before we came on air, I was telling you that when we this is one of the reasons. I'll explain why. When we went to the couples retreat, the women it looked like the women were always convincing Bronte that I was an emotional manipulator. And then when I found this out, I was like, no, not having this. And then I was going to leave at the next commitment ceremony. And then Bronte was the one that stayed and said, I've never felt manipulated by Harrison, right? Because she wanted to stay longer. And I was like, well, how is that not manipulative? Like, you've basically like completely ruined my reputation to the women on the show. And then the minute I question it, you backtrack and say, oh no, it's never happened. Like, just to stay on the show longer. Like, that's manipulative, right? And just things like that. And so when I called Ollie...
Didn't you want to stay on the show longer as well?
I wanted the relationship. I wanted to try and make the relationship work.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to leave in week one. It was always production that was like, and actually my mom as well. She was like, all the guys in the past have run out on Bronte. Don't be that guy. Like, stay and try and make it work.
But why not just follow your heart? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, you've always got doubts. It's tough. It's tough because yes, I wanted to leave, but I also didn't want to leave not giving it 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I'd done a lot of work to get there as well. It was also an opportunity for me as much as it was for her, right? And so, yeah, when I was on the phone to Ollie, I was like, all of these things have happened. How could they not show this? Like, how could they not show the relationship in a true light? And then, how could I not look good by comparison because of all this toxic shit that had happened? And you don't see any of it. You don't see any of the stuff none of the stuff I've talked about in interviews do you see on the show.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I talked about in interviews, if you saw it on the show, would have completely swayed the public's opinion of our relationship.
And the storyline wouldn't really be as it is right now.
The only way they could make me look bad was by cutting all of that stuff out. So all you really see is like, you hear me talking about things that aren't even occurring on the show. It doesn't even make sense to the storyline.
But like my question is like, how would they be able to chop and change a whole lot of that stuff? Like, it's very, very hard, man, for you to to like keep a front for so long, because like the show was like like film for how long? Like how many months?
A few months, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so for them to kind of paint a picture of you, which is completely different to how you view yourself, it's a little interesting, don't you think?
Well, they did that. They did that by editing key things out. So, for just a quick example, Bronte and I get into an argument on the balcony after the first commitment ceremony. It's like the first scene back after the first commitment ceremony. And Bronte's acting like she was bewildered that I wrote leave at the commitment ceremony. And I was like, I told you I was writing leave. Why are you pretending that you got blindsided at the commitment ceremony? And they cut all of that conversation out. So you just show her, it shows her like flipping out and walking away from me, calling me a narcissist and all this sort of stuff. And I'm sitting there going, well, how am I a narcissist when I told you I was writing leave and now you're acting confused? Like that seems manipulative and narcissistic and gaslighting to me. And that's how they portrayed that whole scene, was by cutting that stuff out. That if they had shown me saying to her, well, no, I told you I was writing leave, like you're bringing up a text message I wrote 3 days ago, right? In that conversation.
Do you think you're fully innocent?
fully innocent. No one's fully innocent. I played a part in the relationship and why it was toxic.
Yeah.
But my part, I truly feel, was like very like minimal. Like,
Would you consider yourself like a fuckboy?
probably going into MAFS, yeah, not now. Now I'm in a happy, committed relationship, and
Yeah.
I've left those days behind. But definitely going into MAFS, yeah.
So you think in that relationship, or you think, you know, it was more her that was kind of, you know, deteriorating where you guys were?
Mate, look at who the two of us have been since leaving the show, right? She's done a bunch of podcasts where she's contradicted herself left, right, and center. She's talked very, very derogatively. Sorry, my brain's not working.
Endometriosis.
Yeah. She's talked. Yeah, she said very derogatory things about our sex life and my sexual performance on podcasts. She's had her sister come out and do a podcast slandering me. Like, she's not handled herself in a way that I think is very becoming of someone that I would respect. And then, you know, like, I've talked about our relationship in the media, but I've never, to the best of my knowledge, I've never come out and like really, like, I could have said some stuff that would just drag her. Like, I could have easily sunk to that level, and I never have. I've just said, these are the issues I've had in the relationship, and this is why. You know, and I'm the one in a happy, committed relationship and moving on to, you know, to bigger and better things, and you know, she's not.
When's the last time you spoke to her?
The last time I spoke to her was just text messages I would have sent through the filming process. And
Filming process.
Oh, sorry, the airing process
the
on
airing,
TV. Just like when a certain episode popped up or whatever, I would have I sent a couple of messages.
And you guys were on
here
good
there.
terms then.
No, we were never since the reunion. We've never been on good terms.
Oh wow. So if you called her up right now, what would she say?
I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
But the thing is, like,
you,
I
Harrison.
don't really have anything against her. I just wish she didn't do and say these
yeah,
things.
just kind of drag your name.
But on the other hand, like, she hasn't stopped talking about me since the show, and now she's coming to the fight. Like, I think it's on the one hand to say, like, oh, you're so traumatized from the relationship and I was such a bad guy. And then at the other hand, you're following me around the country going to events that I'm at. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, obviously now it's been like a little bit of time, like, since you guys have seen each other and, you know, post show. And your guys' lives are, you know, like completely different, right? And now she's got an OnlyFans. You said something very interesting actually when she actually started the OnlyFans. You said, I could have gone down the OnlyFans route, but I'd rather have parents that are proud of me. Selling nudes to strangers for money is kind of gross. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, so before MAFS, I wanted to do OnlyFans. I was like, yeah, this would be a great way to make money. Like, all of the stuff that people get enticed to do. And look, I wouldn't be the first guy that's come off MAFS to do an OnlyFans if I had have done one, right? Like, there's other guys that have done it.
You
A lot of women that have done it. And they've made good money. So, like, the money's there if you want to make the money.
But why is it gross for Bronte?
Yeah, I'll get to that. So when I looked at it objectively and I spoke to other people about it, it's like, it's kind of, if you the notion of MAFS is that you're gonna marry someone and you're really looking for love. Like, yeah, it's a #1 television show and you're gonna get a lot of exposure from it, but the whole idea is to be genuine. And I feel like after the show finishes airing, you really see who's genuine by their actions, right? Like, I've gone and got into a serious relationship. I haven't started an OnlyFans. What kind of message would that send to my son? What kind of message would that send to the public? Where it's like, was this guy even genuine? He just went on there. Now he's just doing OnlyFans.
But
right?
before the...
And I feel like it's a betrayal to the notion of what we signed up for on the one hand. And on the second hand, like, you're nearly 30. Like, you know what I mean? If you're really serious about meeting someone and being in love, OnlyFans is not the route to meet someone who's like the type of person you'd want to attract for a long-term relationship.
So you also feel like OnlyFans creators can't be parents? Is that what you...
You can be an OnlyFans.
Where did you get that from?
No, because you said that like it's not a good look. Like, you know, you being
if
a
you
parent.
have children, it's not good to be selling nudes over the internet. Yeah.
But didn't you used to be a stripper bar? Just
before
I'm
I
not
had a son.
attacking and
Before I had a son, back when I was in my 20s and single,
You don't think, you know, like it's a little hypocritical for you to be looking at Bronte in that light?
I was a stripper
like when you
before
did
I
that?
went on MAFS, and the whole reason I went on MAFS is because I was looking for someone, so I was prepared to leave that life behind. in order to find someone. Going back to that would be kind of like a slap in the face to the whole process of what we went through. And if you want to, like, she's the one out there saying that she went on there for genuine reasons. Well, I don't see it. I don't see it doing that. And then secondly, yeah, it's not yeah, I don't think it's a good thing to do. Sell photos of your naked body to strangers on the internet, you know. And if people out there want to disagree with me, so be it.
Yeah. How long before the show were you stripped?
How long before what?
The show, before MAFS.
What was the question?
So,
How long?
Sorry, so like before the show. So like, okay, so when did you start stripping?
I did it for like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer.
It was like full naked.
Well, I started off topless waitering. I started off topless waitering with just a shirt off, pants on, or shorts on. Sometimes in budgie smugglers on boats, like hens parties, things like that. But again, I don't see that as the same as. Okay, so I was hired as a male entertainer at functions.
Yeah.
I don't see that as the same light as a female selling naked photos online to strangers. Like, I just don't see it that way. I was an entertainer getting paid to do a job. OnlyFans is not that. OnlyFans is you selling your private images to strangers on the internet.
Did you watch my season of MAFS?
Yes, I did.
Who from my season do you think you would have been best paired with?
I'm so glad we're changing the subject, first of all.
No, you good, boy. You good.
I don't know. Hey, maybe Selena?
Selena, really?
But that's our girl.
I would have not guessed that.
Yeah, but who I don't have blocked. I don't know where you and Selena got that from. I don't have either
Yeah,
of you
you have
blocked.
blocked me, bro. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Bro,
Whoa,
I'll get it out right now. I
Yeah,
took photos of this the other night, screenshots to bring here to show
Because
you.
Bronzy's blocked me too, I think. Well, supposedly now, if it's not true.
Yeah, that was awkward, man. When we had Selena and it's like, wait, you guys are blocked. I had to go and have a
That's
look.
Selena's Instagram, and that's your Instagram.
Oh, wow.
I don't have either of you blocked. I don't know where you guys got that from.
Were those screenshots or the actual
Yeah, because I was in a conversation with someone about it, and they're like, they asked me, they're like, apparently you have them
Why
blocked.
don't you follow me?
Because we're not really friends. Do you want to be
you guys
friends?
spar together?
Do you want to be friends?
I want you to follow me. That's what I want.
It's not that clout, boy.
That's why I want maps.
So, bro, so like after the show, man, like how have you been, like, you know, seeing, you know, the way that the public reacted to how you were on the show, or like how you portrayed?
Yeah, what's the public like?
Yeah.
It's
Are public
weird,
liking
like,
you, or they hating you, or what's the
It's weird to the
interactions?
public. Like, the people that meet me are like, you are nothing like the show.
Wow.
Like the show Harrison, let's say. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, that was me in the midst of a really toxic relationship with someone who was very manipulative, very dishonest, constantly stabbing me in the back, to a group of people that I sometimes did and sometimes didn't get along with. That's kind of like what my experience on Married at First Sight was like. People would be best friends with you 1 minute, stabbing you in the back the next.
But it almost
Yeah,
sounds
it was
like
tough. So it's
Who do you hate the most on your season?
besides the person I was matched with, which I don't hate. I'm just disappointed in.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. You know, it almost feels like you really wanted this to work out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah, I did.
Man, damn. Because, like, I think for me anyway, like seeing articles come out, it seems like you guys, they really, really dislike each other. But at the same time, I can, like, with the way that you're talking right now, it sounds like you had a lot of hope in the relationship.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I don't regret it. Like, I've got an amazing partner now who I wouldn't trade for anything. And I'm so thankful that this experience led me to where I am now, because I'm so happy, happy, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm glad how life's worked out.
How'd you guys meet?
We met on Hinge.
Ooh. Wait, straight from the show. Black was like, hey, right on the market.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like a week after MAFS.
And she didn't watch maps? Or she did?
Not really.
How does she react, like, when, you know, she sees, like, the backlash in public?
Yeah, she's very protective of our relationship. And yeah, we love each other. So it's tough on her. It's tough on her to see negative things get written about me, or negative comments, or people say negative things. Like, how it would break my heart if it was the shoe was on the other foot and people saying that about her, and she's such an amazing person, right? So yeah, I'm sure it's I'm sure it's tough.
Like, did you find yourself like wanting to like constantly like defend yourself when you were around her, like when she was talking about the show? Maybe if she did.
Not really, because like I would do an interview and I would send her the interview and say, hey, like if you want to hear my side of the story, here it is. Because I've never said anything in interviews that I wouldn't be proud of someone hearing.
So we usually play a game called That's Dicey, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. So we've got a few questions that we're going to ask you. Very quick. Yeah.
It's
just
good.
Very quick.
It's good when they change the game up because I'm like, I know something bad is coming.
He's nervous.
Like, we've got rid of the game that we normally play just for you.
Yeah, just for you. Special edition for you. So now listen. So since you appeared on MAFS, right, there have been thousands of comments about you. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to be able to comment back, like you already have been anyway. So yeah, basically we're just going to read to you some of the comments and some of the worst things written about you and see what you have to say. Just checking, you good for this?
Just
right?
make sure that when you say the comment, say that person's full name and location. So I can write it down for later.
Disclose them for their safety.
Are you
sure you're ready for this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's nothing I wouldn't have heard before anyway.
Damn, all right, cool. Here's the first one.
All right, his obviously fake concern and tears about Bronte's endometriosis on the couch are what sealed his fate for me. Most uncomfortable I've ever been watching TV. The secondhand embarrassment actually made me physically cringe.
I've never read that before. This is all new to me.
So you can fake cry. So can you
The
fake cry?
infamous fake crying. Well, who's to say it was fake? Like, how does this random person on the internet know that anything I did on the show was fake? You know what I mean? Like, they're going off the edit. That's basically the silly music, the way it was put together. At the end of me talking about Bronte, John goes, said something like, oh, I'm not buying it or whatever. He said that to Adam. That was edited into my time on the couch.
Dom and Ella said you're fake crying on their potty.
Dom and Ella. Yeah, I mean, I've been accused of fake crying. You can see I want to make a very clear distinction right now for you guys and the listeners. There's a very big difference between someone getting choked up and emotional and showing empathy for someone else and finding it hard to talk and crying. I never cried on MAFS. I never actually broke down. I came very close on Dominella's podcast when I was talking about August and how he was taken away from me. That makes me want to cry. That stuff. That's really deep stuff for me. Talking about endometriosis was just uncomfortable. Seeing Bronte in pain was really uncomfortable. Like, I got emotional talking on her behalf, trying to very uncomfortably explain what it is she was going through at the time. Nothing about that was fake. Adding stupid music over the top of it and the way it was put together, that was fake.
Here we go. Next question. So, he's literally a complete and utter snake. I've never seen anything like it. He has the IQ of a moldy doormat. Goddamn. Zero self-awareness, thick as a plank. It gives me some relief knowing that his Instagram following is the lowest of the bunch.
It's actually not, but yeah, keep going.
No, that was it really.
Okay.
But I guess that comment...
I think it's like middle of the pack for the guys.
Hey?
Middle of the pack in terms of
Wait, what are you
following
on
for the
now?
guys. Instagram following, like 70s plus.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Oh, wait, who's the lowest?
Yeah,
then?
I mean, the lowest is probably around 20. I think the most is like Duncan, who's on like 300.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's the lowest then?
I think it was like Hugo or something.
Oh.
Is it Hugo?
I don't follow Hugo, so I don't know. But there's a couple of guys out there that have like 20, 30, 40. Like, I think I'm sort of middle at 70.
What were you on before the show?
Like 1800 or something?
Oh, those are good numbers, yeah.
Did a part of you kind of wanted to go on the show for a little bit of more followers or what?
But the interesting thing is saying I have a low IQ. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a pretty intelligent guy. So, again, like these vapid sort of insults based on the edit of the show and who they saw on television. They didn't get an accurate representation of me as a person from watching MAFS.
Are you even offended by like some of these
Nah, not even
comments anymore,
because
bro,
these
or at
people
all?
don't personally know
And they don't
me.
know you like that.
Yeah, if Noni Boon or Gina had written in, you know, someone that like actually knows me and has spent a lot of time with me and was saying this stuff, yeah, it'd be different. But some random, you know, over the internet, they don't know
it doesn't
me.
faze you.
It'd be like me commenting on you or you.
Do you read the comments?
No, but it'd be like me
That's good.
commenting on you guys, being like, oh, you know, I don't like that the guys on the podcast did this. They're obviously low IQ. Blah blah blah.
And you
I
know
don't
shit about us.
personally know you. It'd be like a water off a duck's back insult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
next one. He is a gaslighter, but he is not a smart one. I am guessing this is why he goes for young women, as they possibly more naive and perhaps he can fool them short term. I think someone said this about me too.
Gina turns 30 this year, and I'm 33, so I'm not really going for young women there. And yeah, I don't see how I ever gaslit Bronte. I'd be more than welcome of anyone that could point out how I gaslit Bronte. In fact, I'd be open to it. I'd love to hear it. If I ever changed facts, purposely made her question reality, changed a narrative, I'd love to hear it, but it never happened. The only way they could possibly have made that the way that they did on the show, like with the couples retreat between her and Melinda, and on the balcony where I told her I was writing leave, and even the conversation where we opened the honesty box on our honeymoon, and I talked about our level of attractiveness, sexual attractiveness. Those three things are what I've been accused of gaslighting Bronte over. And even in those three things, it comes down to the edit. So I really fail to see how I've ever gaslit Bronte.
Damn. I think we've kind of covered a whole lot about Bronte at the moment, bro. And I can understand why you want this to be the last time you have to talk about MAFS.
Can you see it now?
Wait. But like talking about you dating young women, do you have like a past of, dating young girls, or what's going on?
That just comes from
I wonder why they
the
said
fact
that.
that I was casually seeing a 21-year-old before going to MAFS.
Oh.
The girl that I dated for a few weeks before I went on the show, and then
Was this the one on the wedding? That came out?
This is the wedding drama girl.
Oh god.
But it's come out since that was nothing. It was just a casual thing. And she just happened to be 21. But that's, I've dated all ages of girls.
Yeah, I can't talk.
I think we've got time for one more, actually. Go on.
I am so baffled when he keeps calling himself hot and Bronte keeps validating him. He just looks like the most repulsively below average brickhead dude.
That's fair.
I used to work
God
in
damn.
a forensic personality disorder ward, and I have seen this look before in defenders many times.
Yeah.
A mix of low IQ and complete narcissism. So do you think you're hot?
There's an entire ward for people with
Goddamn.
personality disorders. I'd be interested to find out which hospital that's in or psychiatric care centre that's in. Does it say?
We can
No,
find
he
out for you,
doesn't.
actually.
An entire ward for people with narcissism and personality disorders. Wow, I mean, this person would obviously know, because you can never type anything into the internet that isn't true, right?
Yeah, but so obviously, you think you're hot, right? Because as a stripper, you got to say
was
like,
funny,
you got to be self-like, you got to be like, yeah, I'm hot.
I talked about this the other day with Anthony, the fight promoter.
Yeah, Antonio.
Yeah. And I rated myself a 6 out of 10. So there you go.
Oh, you're 6.
That's why I
What?
rate myself out of 10. 6.
Damn,
Give it
that's
a
too
six.
humble.
I remember when I
Ridiculous.
first went on MAFS,
And they said rate yourself?
and they're like, oh, what do you rate yourself out of 10? And I was like, I'm an 11 out of 10. And I got ripped apart.
God
Ripped
damn,
apart.
man.
I remember people coming to me like, you think you're a fucking 11 out of 10, you ugly fucking.
Yeah, but what people don't realise is now.
I was
now
like saying
when-
that as like a G up. I don't know.
Yeah, man. And they took it literally.
Yeah.
But now when I watch reality television, so like, for example, I can recall things that I've seen on, say, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or TV, in like reality television in general, but like big shows in Australia. And now when I watch television and I see people make a fool of themselves like that, I know full well that there's a camera crew and a producer that made that happen. Like, people don't walk into rooms and go, yeah, women think I'm hot, or I'm at 11 out of 10. Like, people don't talk like that. And if they do, they're normally saying it to themselves before they go out for the night to try and psych themselves up. It's
but
that's like internal self-talk at the very most, and nothing you'd say in public at the very least.
that's what's going on with your internal self-talk, saying that you're a 6 out of 10. How do you get to a 10?
How do I get to a 10?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Come on.
I don't know.
So
Take a
what kind
whole
of work
crew
you gotta do,
people to
'cause-
get me close. But what I will say is, that those sorts of embarrassing things, they're usually producers egging that on. It's not people. People don't come out and say that. I doubt. I've never heard the whole few times I've met him, I've never heard him say anything cringy like that. Yet you said it on the show, right?
Makes good television.
You said other stuff.
Makes
He
good
said other
television.
stuff that's funny.
He said a lot of shit.
Yeah, he said a lot of stuff, but I've never heard him speak about himself like that. So
Yeah. Well, what's next for Harrison Boon?
yeah, starting up an OnlyFans and
Teamed up with Bronte.
no, I got the fight in August.
Come on now.
The fight in August. Got a couple of things in the pipeline, but I can't really talk about it because if it's not locked in yet, then you talk about it.
Another
it doesn't
show?
happen, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, another show, huh?
Could be another show.
The Bachelor.
Could be a few things.
I thought he said he had to go for
But yeah,
bro.
and I just want to start traveling. Like it feels like the last year I haven't been able to move really. So yeah, I just got back from Tasmania. We're planning our next trip to Europe now.
Beautiful, man.
That trip to Europe could also yield a surprise. So yeah,
Oh, what does that
I hope she
mean?
doesn't
Whoa.
listen to this.
Yeah, what do you
I
mean?
think that gives it away.
Yeah, man.
Gina, if you're listening,
An
stop
engagement? Have you put a ring yet?
I think she's the one. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
whoa.
she's the one. Yeah. So we'll see. I've got some big things on the horizon.
Wow, man.
I have a few, man.
Man,
Anyway,
congratulations.
we can wrap that up anyway.
Absolutely, man. Hey, it was our privilege, bro, to be the last, party you
Thank
come
you.
on talking about MAFS. So
Thank you.
So much.
Feels like a weight's been lifted off my chest.
Hey, listen, man, what a way to do it on Back to Reality, right?
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so
Okay.
much for listening. This was beautiful. And I guess we just wrap up there, right?
Yeah, wrap it there. And if you want to email us or let us know who else we want to get on, email us on backtoreality@novapodcast.com.au.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
I've got to get back to reality now.
Reality.